Well, we're going to do any recording, we better get to it. Hey, folks, how about that Egypt thing, huh? Looks to me like the good folks of Egypt have had enough of the two-class society, rich and poor, and mostly poor, kind of like the U.S. is becoming, wouldn't you say? Those rich fat cats just don't know how to stop gorging at the trough at the expense of all the little people. That's me and you. People who don't make a lot of money and are having a harder and harder time of trying to get by. Hell, all of our jobs have been shipped overseas. It now costs in the thousands of dollars just to heat your home for the winter, something that thousands of us can no longer do. Have you noticed that every time you go to the grocery store, the prices have gone up again? You want to leave that store with a brimming full cart of food? Well, that will cost you on average about $150, easy. Just got a half a tank of gas in my 6-cylinder pickup, $56. An increase of $1 or so in the cost of a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread for Americans can mean starvation for people in Egypt and other poor countries. You know, the UN says minimum wage, basically, type thing for those poor folks in the other countries is $2 a day. If you're making $2 a day, you're in tall cotton. Well, those folks over there, some of them anyway, have had enough, I suppose. We all feel like we've had enough, but how do we define enough? The Egyptian people knew when they had had enough. They took to the streets. I say, don't look at those poor folks in Egypt and think you're insulated from such insults like those people have suffered from their so-called government. Reminders of our own situation here strike us in the face every day, as I have already mentioned. Our standard of living is dropping on a daily basis. So when do you think the American people will have had enough to take to the streets? I suppose it's possible at some point in the future, but I have my doubts. When many of our liberties were taken away in the name of terrorism, how many of us protested? Nearly none. When the banksters were given trillions of our money only to hoard it and pay big bonuses to their fellow fat cats, how many of us protested? Nearly none. It is now as if we also live in a dictatorship, only the dictator is not Barack Obama or even Congress. It's big money. It's the military-industrial complex. It's the corporate robber barons. It's the lobbyists handing out money hand over fist for favors from Congress. I think we should have all been in the streets when our wonderful Supreme Court concluded that corporations are the same as people. How many people protested over that? Nearly none. The two-party system is a failure, and if you think lots of money was spent by corporations on elections in the past, wait till you see what's coming. There are two words that can sum up the future total destruction of this country: greed and poverty. We cannot exist as anything resembling a democracy with only two classes of people, rich and poor, and that is exactly where we are heading. Meanwhile, some of the big news items yesterday were, will Charlie Sheen pay out of work show crew? Whoopi Goldberg was a high-functioning addict. Nicole Kidman admits Botox use, Kardashian's sexy Super Bowl ad, etc., etc. Glenn Beck says these types of protests will spread through the Middle East, to Europe, and then to the U.S. Hogwash, I say. Hogwash. U.S. citizens in the streets protesting? Not a chance. We've all been dumbed down, brainwashed, lobotomized. Whoever grabs the next dollar wins. We are becoming a nation of rude, mindless technophobes. I guess it's okay if we're spinning in the toilet heading for the septic tank, as long as we still have our wireless connection. And the brand new government lie today is the The unemployment rate is down to 9%. If you believe that, I have an iceberg in Arizona I'll sell you. Cheap. 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 Hump me, funky bitches. You know, I'm down to just about the last honk. What's that tell you? If that don't tell you the end is near, I don't know what does. Honk request 1,315. Ladge JM. Can I get a honk request for the Second Amendment if by the time you read this we still have a Second Amendment? Great stuff, Joe. Thank you. Yes, you can. Honk request 1,316. CTOL1. Let's have a honk for editorials. Okay. Honk request 1,317. Real Mash. Dear Joe, please, a honk for truth and another for you speaking. That's 2. 1, 1, 2. Thank you very much. Honk request 1,317B. Forever chosen, none, 1. Forever chosen, 1, 1. Sorry. Can I get a honk request for Joe Bob, always speeching truth? Impeach Obama. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome to Graceland. And I just want to say, I wasn't a drug addict. I just needed my milk. Honk request 1,318. Orwell's daughter. Another honk request for you, Joe, for being far more articulate than our minister of propaganda, and you don't even have a teleprompter. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to Graceland. Thank you. And so, that does it for this episode. Hey, be sure to check out tunepix.com. It's all changed. It's all different. I'm retired now. I have no money. So, check it out. Check it out. Bye-bye. So long. See you now. And watch your head.
Little girl, she's on my mind. No doubt about it, she looks so fine. She's the best girl that I ever had. Sometimes you're gonna make me feel so bad.